Hey guys, happy Thursday. I just want to come on here really quick and talk about some things that I'm remembering from my awakening and God is bringing back to my memory and I want to share this because I believe a lot of people are going to start going through kind of what I went through. There's going to be more and more people waking up to spiritual gifts, visions, downloads from God. The spiritual realm is getting closer and closer. So those who are, I heard it described, I'm going to share this video, but I heard it described today in one of the best ways ever, is that prophetic people who start to have visions, are from the future in a way. We have been there. We've seen what's coming. It's hard to explain, but we're crossing from 3D, 4D into 5D, 6D, other dimensions with times and realms and all kinds of stuff that's bringing these things forth in the spiritual realm. So an awakening is waking up to the spiritual realm. So this started for me over 3 years ago. It really started in like September of 22. And at first it was very scary, very, very scary, because I didn't know what was happening. And it was like all of a sudden synchronicities just start, like it almost like I was being followed all the time, but it was like I was being followed by like the spiritual realm and it was like talking to me. But it was weird because everything was just click, 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 click. Like it was so creepy and it's hard to explain, but yeah. So waking up to that, and in those first couple months, I guess having spiritual downloads, starting to have some visions, starting to seek a little bit more about get back to religion, get back to God, all that kind of stuff. But also God was taking me through a series of, I didn't even know that it was Jesus, I guess. It was, or more so felt like my conscience was like testing myself. It was like asking myself a bunch of questions, like going through like forgiveness and like it's like I went through this process of awakening to who I am, but also awakening to purpose, and that there's this whole other dimension coming to coincide with us here on earth. God, in the Bible it says bringing heaven to earth, bringing what is already present in the spiritual realm to earth. And the way that I heard it, yeah, I already said that. So another part of this that was just brought to me was about the choices I was given during this time. And the main point I wanted to make here is that having an awakening for me and for others it may eventually equate to salvation, but it may not mean salvation. It may mean awakening to the dark side and staying in the dark side. The salvation is the next level, right? So some people wake up to the spiritual realm and then take advantage of the fact that they are awake to the spiritual realm and they know things, and then they are in the darkness, but they are abusing their power in the darkness to hurt others and to gain greed and all these other things. When I was in this just awakened to the darkness and the light kind of section, God was working with my conscience, and one of the main things, I've shared this before, that he gave me the option of. At the time I was very well off. I was living a high life kind of thing, but in complete sin. And he showed me, you are not serving me, you are serving the enemy, and you belong to me, and you can continue on this path, and you're going to have luxury, you're going to have fun, you're going to have money, you're going to have all the things. You can keep going that way, or you can serve me and you can literally struggle, have nothing, get back on food stamps, scrape by, be a single mom, but you will have me. Okay. That was my choice at that time. I was also facing a lot of consequences, and I just knew I had to go with Jesus. That, and that may have meant being behind bars by making that choice too. But my faith was strong enough, but I was given that choice. And many people, I'm sure, the ones who don't have faith, the ones who were not raised in the church, you're given that choice. You're not given the glory yet. You're not given the feeling of Jesus yet. You're still in this place where you're like, I'm freaking scared about what's going on, and I just want life to get easier again, right? And so making that choice, and then going through the process. So from there was like 3-year process and of gaining a intimate relationship with Jesus, right? Where it wasn't until about 18 months from that I would say I felt the glory in tears for the first time. So like when you're making this choice over here, you don't even know what you're missing because you think you're choosing, luxury and fun and all this like sin and pleasure and all these great things. And that's one thing I said to God. I said, when this was first going on, I said, if people wake up to this and they get this choice, why don't they choose you? Why don't they all choose you? And I will never forget it. I wrote it down. He said, people love to worship at the altar of pleasure. And I was just like, whoa. And then this has been a 3-year journey of like removing pleasure in a lot of ways from my own life. But then God adds the pleasure back in. So it was like in 18 months before the pleasure started coming back in with just connection of God and having that relationship that truly feels better than anything in the world. But you have to make that jump and not go back. And then it just gets better and better and better. And the pleasure that you choose here, if you stay in the darkness and choose sin, this is like 1/10 of the pleasure that you're going to receive here from having this relationship with Jesus Christ and getting all of the promises and everything that he has for you. But you need to go through that process. And it is a process of peeling away all, what they say, burning away the impurities. But it is worth it. And so I was just being brought back to that whole process that I went through in the very beginning and reflecting, and God was really showing me like, well, a lot of people are going to be waking up and they're going to have a choice to make. And so I just wanted to explain that and what I went through, and hopefully that helps other people who maybe have gone through it or will be going through it in the future. All right, love you guys. Happy Thursday. Have a great weekend before Christmas.